Nice guys finish last, am I right? Yeah, they do. But it's okay, because they're not actually nice, they just want pussy. If you consider yourself a nice guy, you might as well just drop the formalities and call yourself a virgin. Women are not attracted to passive, subservient, overly emotional males, and I'm not sure where you picked up this notion from. But in reality, I know that more than half of you nice guys are only pretending to be nice so you can get inside a girl's pants. Come on, admit it. You claim that you respect women and that you would treat her better than other guys, but we all know you're only saying that so you can get what you want. Because under the supposed nice guy persona lies an underlying sense of misogyny and narcissism that deprives a male of any attractive characteristics and only serves to drive girls away. I'm not quite sure whether it's based on their upbringing or their genetics, but the vast majority of males between the ages of 16 and 25 seem to possess this overwhelming sense of entitlement when it comes to pursuing relationships. They feel that they just inherently deserve a romantic partner and fabricate this nice guy persona in hopes that someone will find them charming or sentimental enough to fornicate with. But the truth is that they never do. They're not just going to start liking you because you want them to. You have to have a good selling point. Whether you accept the fact or not, incels, women are naturally drawn to guys with more assertive and domineering characteristics, such as an above-average height, large developed muscles, a confident demeanor, or even a good sense of humor. Girls like guys who can stand up for themselves and aren't afraid to express their masculinity. And the reason nice guys resent this idea so badly is because they fail to meet any of the categories and don't fit the archetype of an attractive alpha male. So they in turn despise any guy who does fit this archetype and any girl who conveys the slightest bit of interest towards them. Of course, when I use the term nice guy in the context of this video, I'm not referring to guys who are genuinely nice, but rather a subculture of males who are so desperate for female validation that they feel the need to overcompensate for their lack of charisma and misogynistic ideals by assuming the role of an overly empathetic and compassionate snowflake. I'm sure you've come across an example of this type of person on sites such as 4chan and Reddit, which seem to be incel breeding grounds, or should I say anti-breeding grounds, and seem to be the most rampant with nice guy syndrome, as well as a few examples in everyday life. The most extreme instance of this was Elliot Rodger, a misogynistic sociopath who carried out the murder of 6 individuals in Isla Vista, California, all because women wouldn't date him and only showed interest towards obnoxious men. We laugh at the concept of a nice guy nowadays, but these really are the extremes it can lead to, and the consequences really can be this dire. And I'm not saying all of this to demean women or frame them as the bad guy either. I'm not trying to blame them for liking douchebags or labeling the female gender as depraved like so many incels do. I'm just speaking objectively here, it's all part of our biology. Human beings are genetically predisposed to prefer more alpha characteristics, and there's nothing we can do about it. And I would know, this is coming from the perspective of a submissive beta male. But if you really think about it, it all makes sense from a scientific standpoint. Girls are naturally inclined towards alpha males because they're the ones who can offer protection and security against predators, and also the ones who can provide the most in terms of food and other resources. Good genes are an indication of good health, and alpha males tend to have the best and most desirable genes. Of course, I'm not saying this as an excuse to be shallow, and I know plenty of girls who would prefer to date a guy that's more sentimental and in touch with his feminine side. Nah, I'm just fucking with you, I don't know any girls. But what I don't understand is why these misogynistic, sex-deprived beta males are so quick to criticize women and attack other guys just because natural selection didn't bless them with superior genes. And why they feel the need to fabricate this persona in hopes of making themselves appear more attractive. They're so quick to point out the flaws in other men and label themselves as the underdog without ever taking a critical look at themselves and realizing that maybe they were the villain all along. They need to understand that the women they're trying to pursue are obviously not interested and should instead focus on the ones that are a bit more in their league. You know, like these women. So if you consider yourself a nice guy and possess a lot of the characteristics I've described in this video, take a moment to evaluate the situation and decide whether or not this mindset is really the right one to have. Try to look at things from a female's perspective instead of just assuming how they think and what interests them. Because when you claim to be a nice guy and expect women to just stop what they're doing and throw themselves at you without any justification as to why you're a suitable partner, it only serves to reveal your deepest and darkest insecurities. So don't hate on an entire gender just because you can't get laid. Because you know what that makes you? An asshole. And that's not so nice, guy. Please subscribe, I need to pay off my student debt.